up, everyone? Ken here, and welcome to the Metropolis. On today's video, we're going to be talking about everybody's favorite word or two words, zombie virus. That's right, we're going to be discussing the nearly 50,000-year-old zombie virus that has been pulled from the permafrost, I believe, around a lake in Russia by some French scientists. So let us dive into the article here. And by the way, any article that we pull up will always be in the description below if you'd like to have a look at yourself. So this one from Business Insider India. Scientists revive 48,500-year-old zombie virus buried under a frozen lake in Russia. French scientists have revived a 48,500-year-old zombie virus buried under a frozen lake in Russia until now. According to the New York Post, French scientists have sparked fears of yet another pandemic after reviving the quote-unquote zombie virus. New York Post quoted a viral study, which is yet to be peer reviewed. The situation would be much more disastrous in the case of a plant, animal, or human disease caused by the revival of an ancient unknown virus, reads the viral study. They're going for some play on words here, I suppose. According to the preliminary report, global warming is irrevocably thawing enormous swathes of permafrost, permanently frozen ground that covers 1/4 of the northern hemisphere. This has had the unsettling effect of releasing organic material frozen for up to 1 million years, possibly deadly germs included. So that makes sense. If things are melting, things are buried within the permafrost that might be of a biological nature that we cannot handle because we have not been around as long as those things. It is a legitimate concern from what I've heard. Part of this organic matter also consists of revived cellular microbes, prokaryotes, unicellular eukaryotes, as well as viruses that remain dormant since prehistorical times, the researcher writes. According to the NY Post, scientists have, perhaps strangely, revived some of these so-called zombie viruses from the Siberian permafrost in order to investigate the awakening critters. And I could see both sides to this. Like, on the one hand, why would you even do that? What are you thinking? Why would you revive these zombie viruses? On the other hand, knowing how to fight them and knowing ways to study them is something that's advantageous, so it would make sense to want to have a firm understanding on any sort of biological mechanisms that are in place that our current, arsenal of vaccines or remedies or treatments or whatnot may not be able to handle because this didn't exist. The oldest Pandora virus, Yedema, I believe that's what they're called, Pandora viruses, was 48,500 years old, a record age for, I guess they've done a few of them. Okay, so they're saying the oldest, Pandora virus Yedema, was 48,500 years old because they revived and studied a number of them. A record age for a frozen virus returning to a form where it may infect other creatures. It's concerning. This breaks the previous record of 30,000-year-old virus identified in Siberia by the same scientists in 2013. Which is actually reassuring because this has happened before. It doesn't mean that this is the first time that scientists have seen these zombie viruses and studied them. We do have this 2013-2014 situation of a giant zombie virus pulled from permafrost. The world's largest virus discovered is 30,000 years old, or was as of 2013-2014. And I'll link this in the description below as well from sciencenews.org. It's got this great photo of this enormous microbe, which in this electron microscope image of false colored micrograph, the 1.5 micrometer long virus rests in an amoeba cell. So pretty simple looking, but obviously it's deadly. But that does give me, it gives me a little reassurance that at least 8 years have gone by since then, roughly, since they had that zombie virus and has not taken a hold on our society. However, with recent events, I can understand the concern. The new strain is one of 13 viruses described in the study, each with its own genome, according to Science Alert. Scientists discovered that all of the zombie viruses have the potential to be infectious and hence pose a health danger after researching the live cultures. They believe that COVID-19 style pandemics will become more common in the future as melting permafrost releases long dormant viruses like a microbial Captain America, as per New York Post. The verbiage and wording on this article is hilarious to me. Regardless, though, it seems like, and they might be saying exactly this. Unfortunately, it's a vicious cycle as organic matter released by thawing ice decomposes into carbon dioxide and methane, further enhancing the greenhouse effect and accelerating the melt. So this is going to happen either way. So it's hard to, you don't want to be on the wrong side of the historical bet here, but I'd say it's better to have the knowledge of these things. I'd say it's better to, at least in a controlled environment, be able to look at them. That being said, you, of course, want to make sure that that environment is as controlled as possible. So what do you think about this? Is this something terrifying to you? Is this something you think it's probably not that big of a deal? The term is hilarious to me, zombie virus, just by the sheer nature of, you know, a lot of video games and a lot of things that just that term, those two words together could conjure up in the mind. But it's something we're going to have to deal with as permafrost melts, as these old and resilient viruses possibly come into contact with ourselves, which are not as old, although very resilient. And it would be better to be empowered with, you know, possible information on how to combat them, as long as we safeguard ourselves along the way. So that's my take on it. Let me know your thoughts in the comments below. If you're interested in keeping up in STEM news, science, technology, engineering, mathematics, just happenings or interesting things of that nature pertaining to the cosmos, biology, and a little culture here and there, feel free to subscribe. If you like this video, go ahead and hit that like button. If you don't, no worries at all. Thanks for watching to the end. Until next time, cheers.